Good morning. How you doing? So I've been back at home for just about a week now. Today is what's today? Thursday, February 5th. And it has been a totally different week. I haven't had to work since Sunday, but I've had a lot of newness into my routine. And it's funny, right? I was developing and falling into a routine, but I've had like all of this change recently from decreasing my hours and changing my employment status to the holidays. Well, yeah, the holidays happened in there. The new year, and I have this tickle in my nostrils, so apologies for what might be unbecoming behavior, but can't get rid of it. And so I'm trying to sniff, took my nasal spray. Okay, but TMI. So yeah, the holidays, and then getting invited to go on this mega seminar at sea, to doing that, to this major snowstorm Fern that I missed, but I had to come back to, and dog sitting this week because my aunt was gonna board her dog because she needed a break. And I'm like, don't board him. He can come over here. He was fine. But all of that's happening or has happened. And would you believe, okay, maybe you would, but this is not typical for me. I just unpacked my suitcase today, put my laundry in the washing machine. Normally, when I get back from a trip, luggage is unpacked like that night, and then it's put in the washing machine. But it was just sitting there in my closet, like halfway unpacked. My backpack was unpacked, but the suitcase was not. And it's just been different. And so what I was thinking is, I love adventure. I do. But it's weird because I also crave consistency. And I'm learning that about myself, that I like having adventure, but I also like the consistency. And I think that's where I've struggled, is having that balance. I'm doing this 6, 7. I haven't cooked anything like in terms of dinner. And I was just getting up because I was going to go downstairs to try to get my big pan so that I can just put all this chicken in it, opposed to trying to use the crock pot. Because I told y'all, the last time I made a roast, I effed it up. Or maybe I didn't tell you. I don't know. See, this is what happens when I'm not consistent with talking to you guys on a daily basis. But I'm like, getting all up in my head. Do you want to hear from me on a daily basis? Do you want to talk to me? See, these social media platforms are totally different. It is not one size fits all. Let me tell you, if nobody has told you that, I'm going to be the first to tell you. It's not one size fits all. They are so different. Their algorithms, all of that. Let me complete my thought, because I'll get to thinking and my thoughts are happening faster than they can come out of my mouth. It's so interesting to me. All different. But I used to think, all right, Instagram, Facebook. Oh, stop, Lord. Stop, see, stop. Whew. Excuse me. So Instagram, Facebook, both owned by Meta. Wildly different. And you can do this thing called cross-posting, where you set up the accounts and you can post from one to the other. I'll cross-post, and it will take off on Facebook. And whereas Instagram will have like 5 views, or maybe a little more than that. But it's just so insane to me how different the algorithms are. The audiences, it's all different. It's very interesting if you want to get into the weeds and, just experiment. So that being said, YouTube is no different. And so on those platforms, I feel like people don't want to hear from me every day. I don't know what's going on with the allergies today, but they are allergying. New word. So look at that. All of that, how we start on consistency but this is where we are. I was headed downstairs to go get my big pan, and I was like, wait a minute, let me just stop and talk to y'all because my mentor, Glow, has been pushing us to post daily. But like I said, I was getting in my head and thinking, what's happening over here in that business with Facebook, Insta, TikTok is also applicable on YouTube. And no, ma'am, no, sir, not the same, not the same. It's not a one size fits all. Back to the original point, this whole trying to figure out and be more strategic and having all of this free time. I told y'all, I'm putting myself to the test. Am I going to be able to show up and do the things that I say, and the things like really immerse myself in my business, move it forward, have tangible progress? Will I have achieved that at the end of February with all of this time on my hands? Time will tell. I'm off to a great start. And yesterday I posted in Facebook about my celebration cruise. What? Celebration cruise? Yes. So this girl, this granny, side note, I posted this short on YouTube yesterday, back to life, and somebody commented, "Get it, granny." I was dead. I was like, oh my goodness. It took me out. Thank you for that comment. This girl is turning 50, and I am planning a celebration at sea because all of my peers are turning 50 too. And I turned 50 at the end of June. I wanted to have a birthday party or take a trip because y'all know I love a trip. But then I was like, I don't know. What to do? I swear, my life is just a 6-7. And you know the cool thing too, though, you reverse 6-7. 76. Ooh, whose birth year is that? Bicentennial brand. Okay, so anyway, planning this sailing, and I announced it. I created a group on Facebook. Facebook is great for that, for groups and connecting in that regard. So created this group and I announced it. I also put it in my class group. I'm doing it. I'm beginning to do it is my point. And that I'm figuring it out. While I might stumble and not get it right, grace is what I'm extending to myself. A lot of grace. But then there's also, in addition to that grace, I want to begin to plan my days and my weeks where, like I told y'all, I like the adventure, but I also really crave the consistency. And I like that. And I like to know what is on my plate. Like I said, have been intentional about leaving room for the unexpected. And I think that's what gets a lot of us, is not leaving room for the unexpected. We stack our plates and our obligations, everything just so full that when the slightest thing goes awry, then we unravel and we lose it quickly. Speaking from experience, I know this. And so that's one thing that I have been quite intentional about. And, you know, it's a work in progress. Enough of my quote unquote rambling. But you know what? I also have to change my mindset. It's not rambling. It's sharing with you, trying to encourage. And yes, there are some of you that might want to hear from me daily. I don't know unless I do it. So we're going to call this day one. I'll holler. Okay, no. But seriously, figuring it out, getting it together, and grace. Grace is the biggest factor in all of this because I am the hardest on myself. And if you are the hardest on yourself, give yourself that grace. You're human. You are not God. You don't have it perfect. You're not going to have it figured out. And it's ever changing. As soon as you think you have it figured out, life is going to show you, no, you don't. So extend that grace. Extend it to yourself. Extend it to others. When you're able to extend grace to yourself, I think you can extend it to others freely because you understand they're trying to figure it out just like you. So with that being said, I'm going to end this video and I thank you for watching. I hope that you are having a great day, a grace filled day. And if you aren't, remember that tomorrow is a new day for opportunities, another day to give yourself and others grace. So I will talk to you later. Actually, I'm going to talk to you tomorrow. I'm not going to say later. I'm going to talk to you tomorrow. Have a good one, y'all.